Welcome to Scary Stories. If you like scary stories, this is the channel for you. Subscribe and turn on notifications to be the first to know when we release a new video. Enjoy. The Invisible Grip. I was visiting my dad last summer and was trying to fall asleep in the guest room. As I was drifting off, I suddenly felt a hand grab my ankle. I was startled and immediately kicked out, trying to free myself from whatever was grabbing me. I jumped out of bed and let out a scream. When I looked around, there was nothing there. My dad, who had been sleeping in the next room, heard my scream and rushed into the room to see what was happening. He found me sitting on the floor, facing the bed, and asked me what was wrong. I tried to explain to him that I thought something had grabbed me, but he didn't believe me and even checked the closet and under the bed to see if there was someone or something there. But there was nothing. I immediately felt embarrassed, but the sensation had felt so real. I've never had something like that happen before or since. The mirror of the soul. When my boyfriend was around 4 years old, he began to talk to a man he would see in the mirror. His parents, naturally curious about his behavior, asked him questions about this man. He told them details about the man, including his appearance, hobbies, and even how he died. As it turns out, one of the previous owners of the house had committed suicide in the house, and the descriptions of the man matched the man that my boyfriend saw in the mirror. When his parents discovered this, they decided to move out of the house just a month later. They were understandably shaken by the revelation and didn't want to risk any further encounters with the ghostly figure. My boyfriend, however, has never forgotten about the man he saw in the mirror and still talks about him to this day. The experience has left a lasting impression on him, and he is convinced that the man was a ghost. The locked door. I was home alone and decided to take a bath. I closed the bathroom door so that my dogs wouldn't come in and try to jump into the bath with me. I stayed in the bath for around 45 to 50 minutes, relaxing and enjoying the warm water. But when I finally climbed out and opened the bathroom door, I was shocked to see that a table had been moved right in front of the door. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I had never heard a thing while it was happening. I never even heard my dogs bark, and they usually bark at anything. And they were playing outside, which is so strange for them. I couldn't explain how the table had moved, or why my dogs hadn't made a sound. I felt a chill run down my spine as I realized that something strange and unexplained had occurred. I couldn't shake off the feeling of unease for the rest of the night. The possessed slipper. When I was 4 years old, I lived in a small 2-room apartment. My bedroom was located to the left of the main entrance, and from the entrance, you could see directly into the kitchen. One day, while I was playing in my bedroom, I managed to get my slipper stuck under my bed. The space between the bed and the floor was only about 2 inches, so I couldn't reach my slipper. I don't know why, but I started chanting something like "Slipper, get out now" over and over again. Suddenly, I felt a sense of dread and fear, and I ran out of the room. After a few minutes, I decided to go back and check on my slipper. To my surprise, I found it lying a foot away from the bed. I quickly grabbed it and ran out of the room. At the time, I couldn't explain what had happened. As a young child with an active imagination, I assumed that a rat had heard me and pushed my slipper out from under the bed. The ghostly touch. I was lying in bed, wide awake, my heart pounding in my chest. I had spent the evening watching a series of spooky paranormal videos, and my mind was filled with images of ghosts and spirits. Despite my logical mind telling me that ghosts were not real, my fear and paranoia were overwhelming. I had never experienced anything out of the ordinary in my house before, nor had I heard any stories of strange occurrences. But that night, as I lay in bed, I was convinced that something was lurking in the darkness. As I lay there, trying to shake off my fear and fall asleep, I felt something suddenly tug on the band of my boxer briefs. It was as if someone had reached out and pulled on them, only to let go just as quickly. My heart raced as I sat up in bed, frantically searching the darkness for any sign of an intruder. But there was nothing there, just the silence of the night. I lay there for what felt like hours, too scared to move, until eventually, I mustered up the courage to get up and check all the rooms, but everything was normal and nothing was out of place. I couldn't explain what had happened, but the memory of that sudden tug on my underwear stayed with me for a long time. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos. See you soon.